Well, this is kind of a small knit community, and we are again adjacent to a larger community. There's about 5,000 residents in Winona Lake, and we see pretty significant growth here in our community. We're primarily a bedroom community, but we're also going through a comprehensive plan right now to look at the future Winona Lake, and looking forward, of course, to Inframark being a part of that. And with that will come a lot of challenges. We already are looking at extension of our sewers to a new residential development of about 136 homes. It'll probably average $300,000, so it's kind of nice to have that resource available there to be able to pull from. We first learned about Inframark about maybe 2001 or 2. I came out to Winona Lake as town coordinator in 2000. And shortly after that, we were having some problems with our street department, and so we reached out to various companies to see what they had to offer as far as management of street department resources. Inframark was able to come in there, and because they were a large company and they have a lot of qualified people working for them, that was beneficial to us, because with all the regulatory issues going on, you never know what's going to happen, and so it's good to have a bigger, more professional group behind that resource, and so that's kind of why we went with Inframark at that time. Again, they can pull not only just from our project manager, but they can also pull from the company as a whole to bring in the resources that they would need. I think some of the other benefits for us too were that we didn't have to worry about managing. So managing people can be rather difficult at times, and so that took that out of our realm. It made it easier to, when you're hiring personnel, again, makes it, you're drawn from a larger pool when Inframark's involved. In addition, we have, I think, about 11 or 12 lift stations. And just kind of thinking off the top of my head there, they came in and before everything was manual. And so if something went wrong, you had to rely on a red light at the lift station to know if there was a problem. And they came along and provided a SCADA system that we were able to automate all that. So that's been nice too. So just a lot of, kind of maybe things that the public wouldn't necessarily know or see that have definitely improved the process and the efficiency in the operations. Yes, I would recommend Inframark to a neighboring community. As a matter of fact, we have. In our county, we have the county seat, and that's a community of about 15,000 people. And I have actually recommended to the mayors over there over the course of years that they at least look into Inframark, and I think they've had conversations. But more importantly, I've also mentioned it to more smaller communities. And so there's other communities even the size or less than the size of ours, because we're the second largest community at 5,000. One of the things that I don't think people realize too is that this is a good way to share resources. I've talked a little bit about personnel, or talked about personnel. So this is nice if you have a neighboring community that also is an Inframark community. You can share personnel, but you can also share equipment. So it might be like a community like ours that might have a little bit more resources, might have a piece of equipment that would that another community cannot afford, but yet we can provide that equipment to that other community, and maybe even the operator, to get them through maybe a disaster they've had, or rather a situation they've had where it's going to cost them a lot. So you have shared resources with people, but you also have shared resources with equipment. Inframark's always doing what they can to improve the quality of the service here in Winona Lake. Yes, I would recommend Inframark